Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we'll continue with our third unit, which is titled If It Hadn't Happened. Our lesson today is the project and the self-reflection lesson in your books, page 46 and 47. All you need for the lesson today is your books, page 46 and 47, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to compose a class survey. You will come up with a new class survey. Also, you will be able to fill in a self-reflection form. Let's get started with this. At the beginning, you will do a class survey. What do we mean when I say a survey or a questionnaire? A survey is actually a method of gathering information from a sample of people, traditionally with the intention of generalizing the results to a larger population. So we will come up with a list of questions and you will ask some participants these questions. Then you will come up with your results and you will tell 50% of those people like this or like that based on your questions. So you will come up with statistics and numbers. Okay, now there are three modes or methods of survey data collection that are commonly used. How am I going to collect information using the survey? I've got my questions already made. Well, how am I going to collect them? Whether you are going to do a face-to-face survey, you're going to meet them face-to-face, or the other one, you can use the telephone, you can call them by phone and take their answers, or you can use online surveys in which you will send them emails or you will send it on social media. So you can choose your own way of data collection. Okay, number 2, in your book's page 46, find out what the most common regrets are. Ask your classmates and make notes in the chart. So at the beginning, we're having your classmates. Anyone who is within your classroom, you're going to ask them these questions. Do you have any regrets? Do you regret anything? Then, what do you regret the most? Then you can ask, what do you wish you had or hadn't done? So the whole questionnaire, or let's say this research, is going to be about the common things that people regret. You're going to go to your classmates. You can choose some of your classmates and ask them these questions. Then you will fill out this form. You were having, do you have any regrets? What do you regret the most? And what do you wish that you had or hadn't done? We're having this table. You will write the name, then the name of the regret. Let's say name 1, then his or her regret is, I should have studied harder. The other one might have said, I shouldn't have changed school. And we're having I shouldn't have changed school. Then the third one could have said, I shouldn't have skipped classes. Now I feel that I'm sorry for skipping classes. Or the fourth one could have said, I shouldn't have yelled at my friend. Had a fight with my friend and I shouted at him or at her. These are 4 people and 4 regrets. 2 of them, or let's say 3 of them, are related to school, and only 1 is related to friendship and a relationship between friends. Now we are going to redo the same thing in here. Repeat the survey with people outside the class. Ask questions and make notes in the chart. So you will redo the same survey, however, with different people, different community. It could be your relatives, your parents, or your siblings. So we're going to people outside the class. Do you have any regrets? What do you regret the most? And what do you wish that you had or hadn't done? Do the same thing again. However, people in here are different. So let's say that we're having number 1 could be one of your parents. It could be your father. I should have met my friends more. I don't meet them more. Now I can't. I should have met them more. The second one could have said, I should have attended college. He didn't attend college and now he feels sorry. I should have attended college. Then the third one would say, I shouldn't have resigned. He left his job. Now he feels like he is sad for doing that. He regrets that. I shouldn't have resigned. Then the fourth one could have said, I should have saved more money. Now, if I had saved more money, now I would be able to buy a car or do any other thing. Now we've got the friends and the classmates and the other ones who are outside the classroom. Now you can compare the results of the two surveys. We have changed participants. Now we can compare the two results together. And you can come up with class regrets where I should have studied harder, I shouldn't have changed my school, I shouldn't have changed it. Then we're having in here, I shouldn't have skipped classes, and I shouldn't have yelled at my friend. Other people's regrets, I should have met my friends, I should have attended college, I shouldn't have resigned, and I should have saved money. And you can come up with your results using charts, pie charts or bar charts or any other ones. Okay, for the reflection part, we're having on your books page 47. What do we mean when we're saying a self-reflection? When you self-reflect, you are asking and assessing yourself. So it is actually a way of assessing yourself, your ways of working, and how you study. Now, you will put yourself at the place of your teacher, and you will ask yourself, how am I doing in Unit 3? Am I doing a good job or I need to practice more? So to reflect is actually to think about your learning and improvement. We will look back at Unit 3 and we will ask ourselves, are we doing a good job or we need to practice much more? Okay, before we start, we have to brainstorm ideas. What have we taken in Unit 3? Let's flip through the unit from the discussion lesson until today's lesson. At the beginning, we have started with looking back. We have looked back into the past and we have looked into inventions and explorations. We have omitted some of them, deleted them. Then we came back to the present and imagine how our lives will look like without these. Also, we have spoken about regrets, things that you feel sorry for doing or not doing. If I had done that in the past, I would be in a better situation. Also, we have spoken in the reduced could have, should have, could have, or should have, which is in the pronunciation. Contracted form, not should have, could have, or should have. Then the advice column, which was the reading lesson. We have listened to some people who are sending their problems and we have replied to them in the advice letter, the writing lesson. Then we have spoken about the conditionals, using the past perfect tense in the conditional sentences. Also in our lesson today, which is the project composing a survey. Now let's ask these questions. Which one of these do you think it is the most interesting? I love it. It's not about being easy or difficult. It is about the thing, it's my cup of tea, something I like. Maybe you can tell about writing an advice letter or reading the advice column. How about something that you feel that it is not so interesting to me? I feel that it's a kind of boring. Which one is not interesting for you? Choose any one of the topics and you can say that it's not my favorite. How about something that you feel that it is very easy? It was a piece of cake. The pronunciation was so easy. Speaking about regrets was so easy for me. How about you? How about something that wasn't so easy? I feel that it is a bit challenging. I need to practice it much more. You can choose any one of these topics. Then if you have said that I have to practice much more, just go back and read more about it. Let's take them one by one. And in here, we're going to refer to the table in your books, page 47. On page 34, we have talked about discoveries and inventions and how things would have been different without them. We have differentiated actually between some of the inventions and discoveries. What would our lives be like without the wheel? The wheel is actually an invention. The Sumerians invented the wheel. Let's go to the past and we will omit the discovery or the invention of the wheel. How would our lives look like without the wheel? We can say we wouldn't have most of the means of transportation. We wouldn't have cars, we wouldn't have as well as the bicycles, because they depend on the invention of the wheel. Also, how about oil? How would our lives look like without oil? We will take out anything that depends on oil from our lives. So we can say people would have to use bikes, no cars, airplanes, or buses. Also, we can say cars that run on gasoline wouldn't have become so common. We wouldn't be able to use them. That's why they wouldn't be that common. Let's imagine our lives without airplanes. What would our lives look like without airplanes? No airplanes in our lives. If you want to go from one place to the other, you can use any other means of transportation. Maybe we can say that people might still be traveling on ships, cars, and other means of transportation. There wouldn't be much contact among people on different continents. We wouldn't be able to explore other continents or to visit them. It will be difficult for us. Also, on page 35, we have talked about missed opportunities and regrets. Things that you feel sorry for doing in the past or not doing them. Here, we ordered Chinese food, but it wasn't very good and nobody was happy. Now let's go back and we will regret things that we have done. What was the thing that is wrong? And here we can say we shouldn't have ordered Chinese food. We should have ordered pizza or any other thing. How about I missed a class yesterday because I overslept? Yesterday I couldn't go to class because I slept. What is the thing that you will regret? We will say that I should have slept earlier yesterday, or I shouldn't have stayed up late. I should have set my alarm clock. You can use should or shouldn't have for regrets. In your book's page 36, we have use should plus have and the past participle to speak about your regrets. So in here, we will look, the idea of regret is feeling sorry for something. So we will use should or shouldn't based on the meaning, then it will be followed by have plus the past participle tense of the verb, which is verb number 3. I should have attended. I shouldn't have yelled, gone, or eaten that thing. Okay, I should have said sorry. I shouldn't have shouted at her. Should or shouldn't, plus always have, then the past participle said or shouted in here. This is how to express regret or missed opportunity. On page 36 as well, here, Ali was upset because his friends didn't ask him to go out with them. Now, we will use should or shouldn't have. We can tell that they should have asked him out. His friends should have asked him out. How about Gino's restaurant? We went to Gino's restaurant, but the food wasn't so good. We want to come up with a regret. We should have eaten at another restaurant, or we shouldn't have eaten or gone to Gino's restaurant. You can come up with any regret based on the meaning of the sentence that we've got. Okay, on page 36 as well, we are using the conditional sentences for hypothetical situations in the past. What do you mean by hypothetical? Imaginary situation. Not today. we're imagining something in the past. Just as if we will say, what if we hadn't invented the wheel? We will go to the past and cancel a thing. However, in reality, it really happened. Now, he went out today in the morning without taking his umbrella because he didn't know that it was going to rain. So, if he knew it was going to rain, he take his umbrella. The if conditional will be in the past perfect. If he had known it was going to rain, he would have taken. He would have taken in the result clause. So the if conditional will be in the past perfect, had known, and the result, instead of will, we will have would, because it's past perfect, have taken. Something that is suitable with the perfect tense. How about the other in here? He was not so careful, so he broke the vase in here. He should have been more careful. We will say, if he be more careful, if he had been more careful, he wouldn't have broken the vase. He wouldn't have done that. More careful, wouldn't have done that. However, he wasn't careful and he had broken the vase. We have used the past perfect in here, and in here would have and done. Would have done. Let's try to use this. We can use, instead of would, we can replace it with whether might or could. You can replace the would with might or could. If I live in Paris, I speak French. Now in here, if I had lived in Paris, I hadn't been to Paris ever. If I had lived in Paris, I might have spoken French language. We have used the past perfect in here, then might instead of would, have spoken, might have spoken. The following, if she study more, she passed the test. She didn't study hard and she didn't pass the test. We can say, if she had studied, past perfect, had studied, what could have happened? She could have passed the test. Instead of would or might, we have used could have passed the test. She could have passed the test. Okay, then on page 44, we have discussed the use of present perfect or the past simple with the keyword ago, since, and for. So if we're having the keyword, if we're having the specific time, we will use the simple past. If it is not mentioned, we will use the present perfect tense. People try to keep cool and keep their or keep their food cool for ages. This is my keyword, for ages, not a specific time. So people have tried to keep cool or keep their food cool for ages. The Chinese invent ice cream 4,000 years ago. Very specific time. So we will say invented. We have a specific time. In Baghdad in the 8th century, this is my time, a king imported snow and put it in walls. So he imported and he put it in walls of his summer home to cool the home. The first home refrigerators appear in the early 1920s. So we have a time, so it appeared. Since then, which is starting from 1920, people preserve their food and refrigerators have preserved, because here my keywords is actually since. Starting from that days or for thousands of years ago, people have preserved or saved their food. Then in page 45, we have discussed the use of if plus past perfect tense. Then we're not going to use would, could, or might. This time we will speak about ability, be able to. So we're having here past ability. If they come earlier, they catch the bus. So if they had come earlier, had come, past perfect, they catch the bus, they would have been able to catch. Would have been able to catch. So we are connecting the ability with, in here, we're having would have, then been able to do something. The following, the same in here. If he learns swimming, he swim now. If he had learned swimming, then speaking about ability in the present, he would be able to swim by now. He would be able to swim. So differentiate between which one is in the past and which one in the present. The following on page 45, we have spoken about how to express ability, permission, and request using the modal auxiliaries can, could, or we're having may. You can use one of these. Ahmed, you help me with the box, please. If you are requesting or asking for help, we will say, can or could you help me? So for a request, you can ask with can or could. Some of them are much more, could is more polite than can. Can you help me? Could you help me with the box? I swam when I was 9 years old. Speaking about the past, not today, about the past. Ability. I could swim. Can for the present, I can swim today, but I could swim when I was 9. I could in the past. We not meet tomorrow. I am going to the dentist. Ability. We can't meet tomorrow. We can't meet tomorrow. For the present or the future, you can use can. Mr. Sawyer, not see you. I'm afraid he's very busy. Ability. Can't see you now because he is busy. Okay, so your favorite word. You can check your books on page 68. There is a list of words. Some of them are verbs, nouns, and adjectives. Choose 3 to 5 of these words. Try to find the meaning and put them in a correctly formed sentence. You can choose well, coarse, we're having widespread, heavy, devastated, or any other word. And you will choose it to be your favorite word. 3 to 5 words will be enough. If you still have any questions, you can read through the unit again. Also, you can listen to the audio material if you want to practice speaking or listening. If you still have any questions, just study the grammar, the form, meaning, and function. And if you still have any questions, just ask your teachers. They are always there to answer your questions. Okay, I guess that is it for the lesson today. And thank you so much for your time.